The pandemic is seeing a rising number of cases. Find out how one individual is dealing with the virus with John Anderson.
COVID-19 has obviously impacted the world greatly, and Columbus has been no different. Columbus has over 283,000 confirmed cases and over 5,000 deaths. One of the biggest fears in 2020 is contracting the virus. I talked to Casey Duffy, a 23-year-old who's currently infected, about his experience with the virus.
I had like a sore throat. My nose never really ran. I was really sore. Like it felt like I was like I lost all like my muscle like ability. Like
One of the biggest concerns for people about the virus is the testing. There are tons of horror stories about how testing is done and how painful it could be.
when I went, they kind of treated me like I didn't have it. Like the whole process, they're like, nah, you're fine. The doctor like checked my lungs. He was like, your airways are perfect, dude. There's no way you have this virus. This lady came in like in a full hazmat suit almost pretty much. And she was just like, yeah, you gotta take the swab up the nose. And like I started scrunching my nose and she was like, nah, you gotta really let me get in there. And like she forced it up in there and I was like, this is the worst. I would say the worst experience had to have saying like spreading it to my family is like having that unfortunate like to do that to my own family, like they all had to experience it.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine addressed the state about the virus on Wednesday, saying, quote, "This is the most crucial point of this pandemic," end quote. This is due to this month seeing the highest number of confirmed cases in a day. DeWine also reissued new mask orders for businesses with extra provisions. We hope to see these numbers go down soon and for everyone to remain safe. For Buckeye TV News, I'm John Pearson.
COVID has undoubtedly changed the social norms across the world. Most of us have been accustomed to the new rules and adjustments. However, will society go back to how it was before the pandemic? James has the story.
With talks of a possible vaccine, people can no longer wait for this pandemic to blow over. During this time, major changes have occurred, with businesses shifting to at-home, to schools moving to virtual learning. The question is, will life continue as normal, or will people change their daily routines after COVID has been completely wiped out?
I think there's gonna be like a transitioning period where like people are gonna like struggle with like everyone being out, and I guess like at that point we're gonna have like a working vaccine, and like people will like stop wearing masks. Like society will return back to normal where like everyone's like most likely not gonna have to wear masks when they go outside. People are gonna be able to like meet in groups more than 10. And a lot of like the economy and infrastructure kind of like start growing back.
So after quarantine, I think for most part society would turn back to normal, but I think some things that society's used to would just stay the way it is. So, for instance, I believe that if people are sick, we will continue wearing masks. Also, just like workplace, a lot of companies are trying to do work remote and virtually, and they're seeing that that's working now. So I think another thing that's going to change is the standardized work week. So instead of working 5 days a week, I think a lot of places are going to do like maybe 2 or 3 days where you show up in the office. But besides those two major things, I think life will continue as normal. People go back outside and live life and go to bars and things like that.
The biggest shift that reporters and medical professionals have discussed about are masks. Sites like New York Times and Forbes have brought up the idea that masks may become the new norm after this pandemic. Will we continue our lives as if nothing has changed, or has this pandemic shaped our society forever? I'm James Shaw with Buckeye TV.
Everyone wants to know the answer to the big question. Will students be returning at all for spring semester? Jasmine Hilton has the story.
Students are packing up and going home for the rest of the semester.
I haven't been at home in forever, and I miss a lot of my friends, and I miss my bed and my own shower at home and just all stuff like that. So I'm glad it'll be a long break. I can't wait.
A long break it is. Students will not be returning to campus after Thanksgiving break this year to offset the risk of a COVID-19 spread.
What we want to ensure is that students are not taking the virus back home with them and going home for a weekend where they might be with other people or perhaps expose themselves. Then we don't want them coming back to campus right away and potentially risking the rest of the Buckeye community here.
In a university-wide email, President Johnson addressed campus departure plans for winter break, encouraging students to get tested early for COVID-19 and to leave by this Friday, November 20th.
All of the decisions that are made here at the university are done in collaboration with and conjunction with all of our health experts, both with the Wexner Medical Center and with state and local health departments. And so various groups of all of these experts, all of the people from Ohio State, students are involved in many of these decision-making processes, get together and decide what's our best course of action.
When students return to campus in January, the semester will be virtual for the first 2 weeks to allow for self-quarantine.
I hope everybody will do like maybe test before they get here, or once they get here, just stay in their own dorms. Don't hang with too many people until they get their first result back.
Reporting for Buckeye TV, Jasmine Hilton.
And that about wraps up our show. We covered some really interesting and important stories today.
Yes, we did. It was a great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Kayla Harvey.
And I'm Anna Marie Jacoby, and this is Buckeye TV News. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.